good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. Hello, Margi. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
And happy Tuesday. How are you?
Always.
It's been a long 2 weeks, I think,
know.
since I saw you.
And I can guess you had a fabulous time with your
I
granddaughter.
did have a fabulous time. It was really hard to come back, but I was practically in the fetal position after all of the Christmasing and holidaying we were doing at Hope House for all of our families. So
Yeah.
it was good to get away, get a little break, and be back at it and hitting the ground running. I'm moving a new family in today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have a special gift for you.
Oh, I love gifts. I love gifts that keep on coming. What you got?
Well, my granddaughter came for a visit, and she's an artist. And she had painted about 9 big, huge stretch canvases for Ronald McDonald House. And she gave me her business card, which I absolutely love.
Beautiful.
And she said, if I put those on stretch canvases, who would you give them to?
Mhm.
I said, Hope House.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's lovely.
Because I think it adds a very soft,
Mhm.
colorful palette
I believe it does.
in every living room that you're doing there.
It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if anyone can see it on screen, but it is lots of colors, lots of movement, and I think it tells a beautiful story. So thank you for that gift.
Okay. And I think we'll interview her maybe for 5 minutes every week, watching the progress, which would be
Fabulous.
fun.
That is delightful. I have a question for you, Margie.
Yes.
Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
No.
Good girl, because I read a statistic the other day that 98% of all New Year's resolutions get canceled within the first 72 hours
I
of
was
making
sound
them.
asleep by 9:30.
Yeah, me too. I was like ready to have a
It was
new
a very
year.
exciting New Year's.
Yeah, me as well. And I don't really do the whole resolution thing.
However, I did play musical bingo the next day.
Well, you lucky girl.
Oh God, it was fun.
You're full of surprises, Margie. That's a great way to start your New Year's off
Yeah,
is with
yeah.
musical bingo. And I think we're expecting some winter weather coming on Friday into Saturday. So
Yeah.
I'm sure by now the grocery stores are packed and people are probably getting their milk and bread.
I usually get wine and pasta.
Well, that I like how you think. That is awesome.
I don't drink milk anymore.
No. And what do you do with bread these days? I haven't eaten bread in
I
a long
haven't
time.
either.
So forget the milk and
Oh,
bread.
come
But
on.
I think that's awesome. I think,
Yeah.
one winter weather
I said that to a man when we first moved here.
and,
He looked at me, he said, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard. We don't even drink milk.
well, my daughter and son-in-law are in the DC area and they got 9 inches. And it was my son-in-law's first day back after 12 weeks of paternity leave. And so he got one extra day to be at home, and he's off today with them. So I think that's amazing. But yeah, he's ready to get on with his life. And I think Caitlin's on to getting on to being a mother at home with her
Okay,
child for sure. So
good.
looking forward to 2025 and all the amazing things. We are almost finished construction on Courage and Journey.
Okay.
And thank you for your input on some colors and some ideas. I think we're talking about color today, aren't we?
Well, I was a member of CMG for about 30 years. That's Color Marketing Group.
Okay.
And it's a group of about 20,000 people who specify color for
Mhm.
their products.
Okay.
And at the time, I was working for Para Paints, which now is Sherwin-Williams.
Mhm.
So we all had to come to the meeting with 12 new colors for both residential and commercial that have not been in the palette. And we had to have a trend behind it.
Okay.
So it's facet, and then you stand up and literally fight for your color.
Wow. I know that agreeable gray,
It's gone.
it has been the color for the last few years. We're tired of agreeable gray.
Well, I love gray. I love color.
Mm-hmm.
So no, keep using it.
Okay.
But you're going to find that there aren't products being manufactured in that agreeable gray.
Okay.
And
Fair
that's
enough.
what happens. Like all the people in upholstery, paint, even silk dried flowers come to find the color direction so that they can make products in that color so that everything does work together.
Isn't that interesting?
The best place to go is Pantone. And they always on their website will give you the color direction. We always start with Pantone.
And what direction, pray tell, are we moving in for 2025?
Well, the color of 2025 is mocha mousse. It's a reddish brown.
Yum.
It's very different. Now, I'm not a brown person.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wouldn't be a color that I would choose to go to, but maybe as an accent.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
We're going to a very earthened palette. Reese, if you can show this one. So not only do we have to come with, okay, there's your mocha mousse.
Fabulous.
And then the next one is the color direction showing all the Pantone colors that looks like this. There you go.
Beautiful.
And then we have to name them: willow, cobblestone, mocha mousse, rose tan. And there's a blue in this one, and then there's a green.
Lovely.
So, and as I say, all products, even your makeup, go to this color direction
Okie
and make their products out of that. The next one was just showing the pink tennis shoe coming from our color direction. Now, every company renames the colors. I used to have private parties and get great big blocks of the color and have everybody come and name the colors.
Very fun.
And then we vote on it, which was a lot of fun. Benjamin Moore will also give you a color direction if you go onto their website, as well as Sherwin-Williams.
I hope I'm headed in the right direction. That's all I have to say.
Well, with that painting that my granddaughter's going to do, it incorporates all of them.
Beautiful.
You see how well that goes with just
everything.
Blends with everything.
Beautiful. That's lovely, Margie.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good insight for 2025 with color.
And there's a book, too, I got it years ago when I first started doing this. And if anybody wants to know more, this is a great book.
Okay.
To just go and research, how the system works. And I mean, there are so many neat people that go to this.
And I think it's like the beginning of the year is a time where a lot of people sit back and reflect on making, interior changes. So I think changing some color and having this as a guide is a really awesome thing that you're suggesting for folks. So thank you for that.
Well, and I think maybe next week I might bring my other book that gives color meaning. Beautiful. So that, we can say if you use blue, it's going to help you look into your future and see your future in a different way.
Okey-doke.
And one thing I did learn from Dewey, well, many things from Dewey, he's amazing. Your least favorite color will keep you grounded and help you focus on what you have a tendency to avoid.
Okay. Well, let's take that into the break. When we come back, we have two special guests with us here today on Community Centered. One is a surprise. So welcome back in just a few short minutes.
Community Centered, presented by Macintosh Law, a staple in our community since 1997. Will return on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, keep an eye out for a few slick spots and a little bit of black ice, mainly north of the lake for the early morning travel. Otherwise, sunshine comes back today. It's still cold, though, with high temperatures into the low 40s and a bit breezy for our Tuesday afternoon as well. Temperatures go back down to around 20, even some upper teens around the outlying spots and farms tonight. We're cold, low 40s for our Wednesday, tracking our next potential winter weather system on the way by Friday and into Saturday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses, like Top Notch Gutters of Statesville.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Karaoke is back at Micaiah's Bar on Thursday, January 9th. You asked, and Micaiah's came through with CJ the DJ. Karaoke starts at 8 p.m. and ends when everyone stops singing. Bring your performance, no matter how good or bad you think you are. Come have a night full of fun with karaoke at Micaiah's in Mooresville on Thursday, January 9th. Friday night, Callista Jade will perform at the Wine Maestro in downtown Statesville. The singer and guitarist will begin her set at 7 p.m. Come on out for a fun night Friday at the Wine Maestro in Statesville. This Saturday is the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at the Lake Norman YMCA. This free, family-friendly event promises to be lots of fun, whether you take the waterfront plunge or hang out enjoying homemade chili and s'mores. Post-plunge, you are welcome to warm up in the YMCA sauna or steam rooms. Proceeds benefit the YMCA annual campaign. Register for the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at ymcacharlotte.org. 'Tis the season to lace up your skates at Birkdale on Ice, happening now through January 26th. For the third year, Birkdale Village in Huntersville has an ice skating rink, and they can't wait to lace up their skates with you. Ice skating reservations to ensure skating time slots are accepted. Walk-ups are also welcome. Go to BirkdaleVillage.com for details, information, and tickets to Birkdale on Ice. Get behind the wheel and drive a NASCAR race car at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you don't want to drive, go for a NASCAR ride-along. The NASCAR racing experience is as real as it gets. There is no lead car to follow, and no instructor rides with you when you drive. Book your NASCAR racing experience today at 704-886-2400. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for details and more information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Thrilled today. We have a returning guest who's been on our show before. Andrea Ervay, you were here with Team. And explain what that is. And then you want to have call-ins if people want to call in, and that you've got a grant and you're asking for help in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, thanks for having me, guys. Team stands for Together Educating Athletes Through Mentorship. And it is a nonprofit that helps to provide scholarships for girls who can't afford to play the sports that they love.
Okay.
And we primarily do that through the sport of lacrosse, which we have opportunities for girls here in the community. K through 12 can come out and learn the game of lacrosse. And we love getting people in the community involved as well, doing different events and fundraisers. So
That's
And
an
we
awesome
asked
thing.
Joe Berg to join us today
From the sports desk.
from the yes.
Hey.
Because he can tell us all about lacrosse.
I gave you the disclaimer beforehand, though. I never played lacrosse.
Okay.
I understand it a little bit,
Okay.
but I never played lacrosse. But it seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah. So tell us more about that. Like when you say scholarship for what? To participate?
yeah, so we have basically a scholarship form that parents and kids can fill out if they are in a financially hardship position. And there are a ton of expenses that go into sports, as I'm sure you know. And so we want to provide for them both the equipment and ability to go to tournaments out of state. It can cost upwards of tens of thousands of dollars if you are on a travel team,
Yeah.
traveling and going to the hotels and what have you. And there's a lot of families that can't afford to do that, but the children should have that opportunity to play the sports that they love and get a chance to potentially move on to the next level, get scholarships to play in college.
Such a good addition to their education.
Absolutely.
Do
My
all
grandson-
of our local schools have lacrosse teams?
Most
Yeah.
schools do. Yep, it's growing. There's still several that don't, but that's kind of our initiative too, is to go into schools and provide the equipment to show them what
Yes.
lacrosse is. Because, you're from New Jersey, I'm from New York, so we knew what lacrosse was growing up, but a lot of people don't know what lacrosse is.
I think
so.
it's more of an East Coast sport, isn't it?
It's definitely
Yeah,
growing.
I'd say it kind of originated up there. Almost
Absolutely.
like that's where the hub was.
Yeah. I remember I lived in Connecticut. My brother played it. So, it was a common thing, like
Yep.
basketball. But here you don't really hear about it that much.
definitely growing. It's
Yes.
especially here in the Cornelius Huntersville area. We provide lacrosse instruction, both small groups and rec teams, and then the travel
What's
teams.
the ages that
K through 12.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I personally saw there was a lot of girls that were getting cut from all these elite teams, and they weren't making, the tryouts. And so we originally started this because of those girls that still wanted to play the sport, but they didn't have a home. They didn't have a place to go. And that was originally out in San Diego when we started the Team Lacrosse Academy.
So, Joburg, how competitive would you say you think lacrosse is?
Very.
Very.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's great. I like it because it's physical too. Like lacrosse is a physical game, and you wouldn't think it just by if somebody were to explain how lacrosse is played to you,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't think that it's a very physical game, but it is. There's you got to wear padding,
Yep.
and some checking and whatnot is part of the game.
So that's boys. So
Well,
there is
yeah,
a
the
big
boys.
difference between boys lacrosse and girls lacrosse. You can't check the person in girls lacrosse, and we don't wear padding. We actually only wear goggles and a mouth guard.
I was gonna
Some
say mouse
helmets
guard. Yeah.
Are mandated depending on the state or the group, but you only have to wear goggles and a mouth guard for
They
girls.
don't do full face shields for that.
Nope.
Wow.
Mhm.
I know that ball is hard.
It is.
It
Oh,
is.
I've been hit by that many a time.
I use it to roll underneath my foot when
Oh,
my
yeah.
foot is bothering
It's a
me.
good-
It makes a good
good use
roller,
for it.
for sure. Well, that's awesome, and I love that we're giving females opportunity in the athletic field. That's something that really I think is an awesome thing
I
to
do
empower
too.
our young ladies
Yeah.
to do that. So I might want to hear more about that because we have a little bit of money to be able to offer some social emotional development
Yes.
activities for our girls
That'd
and
be
for
great.
our boys, and especially kids that are living in transition. It would be an amazing thing to be a part of a team.
100%. And I think there's just so many transferable skills that you learn being on a team and playing a sport that are applicable to the business world. So once you are.
Like what? What would you say?
Oh,
Give me a skill.
I mean, you
Joe,
have
what do you think? What's a
Communication,
yep,
Mhm.
probably
communication,
one of the biggest.
discipline, teamwork, leadership.
In your other life,
Oh, all my lives.
you are founder of Success Coaching and visionary host of LKN Connect Business Spotlight.
hmm
And your quote, I quoted this: "Don't just market, make it, make an impact."
Yes.
Yeah,
Impact. I just love, getting to know other business owners in the area and what their goals are. And if there's a way I can help to provide value, I find a way. I'm a visionary and also a strategist. So I like to get into people's businesses and help them out.
but what a
Bounced-
beautiful addition to
Thank
the
you.
team
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
as
Yeah.
a mentor. As a mentor,
Yes. And I think mentorship is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I had several mentors
I did too.
growing up, and it's invaluable.
It is.
You played lacrosse, didn't you?
Yeah.
Probably
collegiate
still
level?
does.
Oh, I actually played in a tournament last summer up in Lake Placid. There's post-collegiate tournaments that are all over the country, and it's a ton of fun. You get together with other alumni, and I got to see some of my friends from college that I played with and coaches that coached me, and it's a really cool experience.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Good for you. I love that you've brought that to the business world too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an excellent model.
You got to have balance.
Yes. You got to have your passion and your purpose and
That's right.
put it all together and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and we all get to a certain age where, right? You can't be as athletic as
Well,
we
yeah,
once
I probably
were.
shouldn't have been playing in that tournament.
Right.
Disclaimer.
I think I've
my goal was
passed
to
that
not
age.
get hurt.
But I think that's cool that you've translated it over into the business world
Mhm.
Yeah.
to take those skills and interpret it into something that is lifelong.
Yeah,
well done.
absolutely. And I think it's so cool and youth because they're so innovative and just talking to them about some of their ideas, casually, whether it's on the field, having a conversation, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they just have so many unique ideas as opposed to, I feel like back when I was in school, it was, you want to be a firefighter or a doctor, or nurse
Or
or
a teacher. Yeah.
or a teacher, right? And now it's, just their innovation. It's just amazing. So I love learning from them as well as being a mentor. I
Yeah,
think that we can
yeah.
learn a lot from our
I
youth.
think that's just a testimony to the internet and all the exposure they get,
Yeah,
right? To
yeah.
all of the social media and stuff. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And then post COVID, too. I think these are the kids that survived 2 years locked up. So to be out having an athletic experience in
Yeah.
a team with other people
Yep.
is something that a lot of them missed out on. So
Mhm.
promoting that, I think, is beautiful.
And that was one thing we were able to continue doing during COVID
Oh.
is have lacrosse.
Good.
Depending on the state and different tournament venues, things had to be adjusted. But we were still able to be out there running around and giving them an outlet to get out of the house. I wasn't a huge fan of wearing a mask while you're running full speed, but you got to follow the rules sometimes.
That's right. Yeah.
But I mean, it was still a great outlet to.
It
to
just
continue
hid
to
your
do.
mouth guard.
That was a whole.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
It's a whole other thing for sure. So tell us a little bit more about your non-for-profit.
So, in addition to providing scholarships, we, like I said, love working with different business owners in the community in ways that we can help cross-promote and get them involved. We just had an event in December for our scholarship fund. It was a holiday fundraiser, and we had 24 sponsors, and they were all business owners here locally in the Lake Norman area. And we were able to raise about $3,500 for our scholarship fund. And it was also a fun party. And, we had all of the awesome people come together and make it a big event. And also, had different raffle prizes and things for people that, attended. But the biggest thing was just supporting our youth and providing funds for them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, in addition to that, we just applied for a grant for Western North Carolina's Relief Fund, and we were able to secure 10 grand. And so we're finding, ways that we can help those residents in Western Carolina, and would love ideas of how to spend that money. So, I mean, I think that's always a fun thing. How can I spend money?
Right.
But
Yeah.
obviously, to
So I think
help.
if anybody out there listening has an idea,
Yes,
encourage them to call in.
absolutely.
I think that would be amazing. I know that during the holiday season, we saw here a lot of generosity with the Western North Carolina relief, and a few warehouses got filled with diapers and formulas and wipes and all kinds of things like that. And then we were the recipient of that warehouse having to shut down. And they said, we've got all these diapers and wipes. Do you need them? And I'm like, well, you never know what's coming. So we took some of those. So I think we really, my idea for you is to be really intentional about that. I learned this morning about a family that's living in a tent up in Swannanoa, and there are 4 children in that tent, and they had the tent, but they didn't have blankets and they didn't have coats. So the need is real up
It is.
there, whether the social media and news is still focusing on it or not. I think, I think you could drive to any town in any of those, Ashe County, Burke County, and you can find a need of where to distribute those funds. So when we come back from break, I hope that you can give your contact information so that people know how to get a hold of you
Yes.
to apply for that money, and also to learn a bit more about how they can get involved.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that would be great, but we have to take a break here and give our sponsors a shout out. So thank you so much for what you do and what you bring to our community. And Joe, thank you for your input on lacrosse and all things sports.
Love it.
All things sports related.
All sports. I mean, playing a sport, it's lacrosse and football. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, absolutely. There really is. And, we can't get into it right now. We're better run out of time. But if you want, we can talk about some of the
Yeah.
similarities. Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome when we come back shortly.
Macintosh Law presents Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle. Coming up on 1059 100.7 WSIC.
Well, keep an eye out for a few slick spots and a little bit of black ice, mainly north of the lake for the early morning travel. Otherwise, sunshine comes back today. It's still cold, though, with high temperatures into the low 40s and a bit breezy for our Tuesday afternoon as well. Temperatures go back down to around 20, even some upper teens around the outlying spots and farms tonight. We're cold, low 40s for our Wednesday, tracking our next potential winter weather system on the way by Friday and into Saturday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageandWellness.com with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
At Kane Center for the Arts, we believe art is for everyone. From our exciting performing arts series and gallery exhibits to robust education programs and impactful community initiatives, there's something for everyone. Visit kanearts.org.
Nothing says wow like a gift from Harrison's. Get what they want and what they need thanks to our huge selection of work staples and Western favorites from Ariat, Carhartt, Wrangler, and more. And there's nothing merrier than a new pair of boots from Harrison's. Find us on Norman Station Boulevard in Mooresville.
Home of the best talk.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. NVIDIA shares are down today after a wide-ranging product presentation last night left investors wanting more. While there was an upbeat look to the future, many attending the keynote speech by CEO Jensen Huang at CES were looking for more near-term advances. Overall, the markets today are slumping between 0.1% and 1.4%. You'll soon be able to buy electronic products with the label indicating they are cyber secure. U.S. officials say the Cyber Trust Mark will tell you which products follow best practices to avoid possible hacks. It'll be similar to the Energy Star program, the symbol that tells you which products are energy efficient. The proliferation of wireless internet-connected devices like cameras and baby monitors have provided new opportunities for hackers. Officials hope the label will help consumers make informed decisions. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
Macintosh Law presents Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, with my friend Margi Kyle, host, and we are listening to Andrea Ervay and the famous or infamous Joe Berg from the Sports Desk. So we were talking during the break about the origin of lacrosse. So,
yes.
Give it to us.
So the world's oldest sport is lacrosse, and
I did not know that.
Yes, and it originated because when there were wars between Indian tribes, they would work out their differences by playing lacrosse, which at that time was, they would find a stick, they would put some rawhide around it, and then they would have a rock to throw back and forth. So they would have these games, and they would run in and out of like trees and bushes. And I mean, it's really fascinating to watch. And there's some really cool historical documentaries and movies that they've made, but it's cool to really dig deep and see where it originated.
I think that's really fascinating.
Yeah.
I do too.
To me,
I did not know that
I
at
don't
all.
think we ever talk about the origin of the
Yeah,
sport. We
that's
just talk about the sport. Do you ever talk about the origin of the sport, Gilbert?
No, not on my show. No,
Yeah,
not really.
So you learned something here today. That's amazing. So give us all your contact information, because I know before we went to break, you talked about a $10,000 grant that you won. Let's put it that way. You won it because you wrote it. That can be used to do any kind of relief for Western.
So any physical, blankets, hats, tents. Like you were talking about a roof that had blown off. I would love, if we could duplicate that amount, like the tiny homes that they are. I mean, that would be really cool. Mattresses, things of that nature. That's kind of what I was thinking. But, to your point earlier, they had so much baby formula and all of that, that being intentional and figuring out what it is, what are their needs right now. I think I heard propane, for heating and things of that
Sweet
nature.
Dreams could help with the mattress.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think they have already donated quite a bit, but yeah.
I think propane, and the other thing I heard was animal, like dog food, horse food, feed for goats and things like that. They got missed, in the donations. So maybe do a little research on that on some folks. That
Yes. One of my lacrosse players plays at Warren Wilson College, and they're helping with, the farming school is helping with a lot of the animals, and they had a lot that were displaced. So they're looking into that and how we can help in that sense. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's missed, and people don't think about that.
Yeah. I think through the holidays, we saw a lot of folks getting toys, doing toy drives, getting them up there to the children. And it was just really an enlightening. And speaking of toys, Margie, how was the boat parade?
Fabulous.
It was cold that day.
It was very cold, but we have a ton of toys.
Wonderful.
And then Rotary came and took probably about, I don't know, maybe 300, 500 toys.
How many boats did you have?
We had about 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was I just remember that
We
night.
started with about 30, and I think ended up with maybe 20.
It was a very, very cold
It was,
night. So,
yeah.
but I think we just saw so much generosity throughout the holiday season. You talked about your party that you had to raise money for a scholarship. I think folks were really impacted by the relief efforts that were starting early in October to get the ball rolling with some relief.
Well, when it's that close to home, gotta
makes it
pitch
a little
in
bit
and
more
help.
real,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Yeah, and the
does.
fact that we could be there in an hour, hour and a half,
Yes.
is something
Scary.
to be said.
Yeah.
So, all your contact information.
yes.
Share that.
So I think the easiest is to just email me at hello@andreaervay.com. You can reach out online. It's teamlaxacademy.com or teamlacrosseacademy.com is the website if you want to go there and find me that way. And of course, Andrea Ervay, I'm out there, Facebook, Instagram.
That's cool. If you have if you want to call in and ask our guest, either Joe Berg or Andrea, a question at 844-Studio-4, Reese is on standby, waiting for those calls to come in.
I know.
So as soon as we get one, we're gonna let you know. But do you make goals, Andrea, for the new year?
I do. I'm very goal oriented,
can
and
tell.
I laughed, and you guys are like, 95% of people, which I do know. Like especially February, those gyms will be cleared out, so you can go back to your regular routines. But we are, my friends and I like to do like the vision board parties, and I have all my goals written out for the year, and then I also backtrack and look at my quarterly goals, monthly goals, and I love that stuff. And
So as a woman who's driven and very goal orientated, tell me, what are some of your goals this year?
So funny you should ask. We just had a meeting earlier today. Lynn Bowser, she runs Thrive Financial. She's the CEO there, talking about different workshops and ways that we can educate people in the community. So we'll be doing monthly workshops, like budgeting workshops, and helping people with the basics there. Jennifer Vandersol, she runs Sisterhood Tribe, and that's for women that just are looking for a community group to come together. We do lunches and other traveling events if you want to go travel with a group of women. And we just are always coming up with ideas to, again, get the community involved, educate, find ways that we can help add value. So we have something every month. And then my other goals, obviously monetary, want to double what I did last year. I'm sure everybody has that goal to get in shape and work out a little bit more, eat a little healthier. But I think the most important thing is to really get specific on your goals. And to me, I like writing things down and having it in front of me. And so that's why I like doing the vision board, but speaking it into existence as opposed to, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. How am I going to lose 20 pounds type of thing, and drill down a little bit more.
Good for you. Do you pick a word for the year?
So it's fun because there's these little, I don't know if you've seen them, but it looks like a word search type of thing. And it's like the first word you see, that's going to be your mantra for the year. Have you seen those? Mine is growth, actually.
Wow, very cool.
And I think both personally and professionally, I love to help other people grow as a business coach. So business growth is kind of what I'm looking to hone in on this year.
That's amazing. How about you, Joe Berg?
I don't know if I'd really say I set goals, but more like, okay, what do I want to improve on throughout the year? And not like, you said you have monthly, quarterly, by the end of the year kind of goals. It's just things that I want to keep in the back of my mind as we go through the year. Like this year, I want to get better at what I do here. Just editing and any of the podcasting stuff that we do. Obviously, my show, want to improve that as well. And then, the general stuff, like hit the gym more often. Yeah. Not be out of breath when I'm done playing hockey at the end of the day.
There you go. Well, you've improved the hair. So you've
Thank you.
already made a goal for 2025.
Shout out to Julia. She got me the hair care products.
Shout out Julia. The hair is fabulous. First thing I noticed when I came in, so great. I know. I don't know if I'm just too old to be thinking about goals. How about you, Margie?
I used to sit down and write where I was going to be living, what I was wearing, what I was doing, who I was with.
Yeah.
And I must say I achieved everything.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You got nothing left to achieve.
No, I just need to keep getting up every morning is a goal that I'm achieving, and that's
there you go
where I am.
That's a major accomplishment, a win. We're winning.
Put one foot in front of the other. And
I think because I have to teach goals all the time at Hope House, it's hard for me to set them for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm busy making goals for other people happen, and so I think that's a big thing to maybe not think about so much goals as just
my
let it
word
happen.
for the year is gratitude. I think we need
Lovely.
to get back to all realizing what we've had, what we have, and be grateful. People are just not grateful anymore. They're rude.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend this morning who had just come from Swannanoa up in the mountains, and he did some work over the weekend, and he said, man, you want to feel good about yourself, go on up
That's
there and
right.
offer a day of service.
That's
to
right.
Just show up.
Yeah.
And he said, you will come home. He said, on the way home, we stopped into a nice warm restaurant and had a nice meal. And I thought, man, are we blessed that we are going home to a nice warm bed.
That's right.
We've had a nice warm meal when there are hundreds of people that are really out there still suffering. So I think gratitude is a great word for 2025 and thinking about the small part of that and then the big part of it.
Yes, I agree.
For sure.
And that's actually one of my goals is that consistency of expressing gratitude and writing down 3 things I'm grateful for every night before I go to bed. So that's another
that's
goal,
a good
is
one too.
Consistency and
I
being
love
grateful.
that. Yeah. I love that. I think that's amazing. So we're going to go to another break here shortly.
Wow, the time is flying.
Again, if you want to call in, 844-STUDIO-4. We are here waited with bated breath for your phone call. If you want to call, now's the time. Joe Berg is always talking. Nobody's ever talking to him and asking him a question. So let's do this thing and ask him. And Andrea Ervay, I'm sure there's lots of questions. If people heard that you have a $10,000 to give away, well, let's make that happen, people.
That's right.
That is a lot of money, and that can do a lot of good for which people can be grateful.
That's right.
So we are waiting here. When we come back, we'll be talking more with Andrea Ervay and Joe Berg.
Stay with us. We'll have more of Community Centered presented by Macintosh Law with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, keep an eye out for a few slick spots and a little bit of black ice, mainly north of the lake for the early morning travel. Otherwise, sunshine comes back today. It's still cold, though, with high temperatures into the low 40s and a bit breezy for our Tuesday afternoon as well. Temperatures go back down to around 20, even some upper teens around the outlying spots and farms tonight. We're cold, low 40s for our Wednesday. Tracking our next potential winter weather system on the way by Friday and into Saturday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Karaoke is back at Micaiah's Bar on Thursday, January 9th. You asked, and Micaiah's came through with CJ the DJ. Karaoke starts at 8 p.m. and ends when everyone stops singing. Bring your performance, no matter how good or bad you think you are. Come have a night full of fun with karaoke at Micaiah's in Mooresville on Thursday, January 9th. Friday night, Callista Jade will perform at the Wine Maestro in downtown Statesville. The singer and guitarist will begin her set at 7 p.m. Come on out for a fun night Friday at the Wine Maestro in Statesville. This Saturday is the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at the Lake Norman YMCA. This free, family-friendly event promises to be lots of fun, whether you take the waterfront plunge or hang out enjoying homemade chili and s'mores. Post-plunge, you are welcome to warm up in the YMCA sauna or steam rooms. Proceeds benefit the YMCA annual campaign. Register for the Chili Plunge and Chili Cook-Off at ymcacharlotte.org. 'Tis the season to lace up your skates at Birkdale on Ice, happening now through January 26th. For the third year, Birkdale Village in Huntersville has an ice skating rink, and they can't wait to lace up their skates with you. Ice skating reservations to ensure skating time slots are accepted. Walk-ups are also welcome. Go to BirkdaleVillage.com for details, information, and tickets to Birkdale on Ice. Get behind the wheel and drive a NASCAR race car at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you don't want to drive, go for a NASCAR ride-along. The NASCAR racing experience is as real as it gets. There is no lead car to follow, and no instructor rides with you when you drive. Book your NASCAR racing experience today at 704-886-2400. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for details and more information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
We are back. This hour is just flying. I do want to do a shout out to McIntosh Law Firm for their support for one of our goals and our passion. This is a highlight of my week, and I know it is of yours as well. So, were we giving out more information on how to get a hold of you? Okay.
Do we have a call coming in? Oh, this is exciting.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
He's got to see what they need first.
Oh, okay.
Got to make sure it's legit.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, everyone. Appreciate you pulling this conversation together. I think it's really cool. My name is Max. I'm a friend of Andrea. But I just want to let everyone know that everything she's talking about and the impact that they're having with Team Foundation and the work she's doing with business owners, I've seen it over the last few months as I've gotten to know her, and it's awesome work. So huge shout out to what Andrea's doing. I did have a quick idea for some of the funds, though.
Okay.
I'm not personally familiar with some of the bigger issues up in the mountains, but I was just thinking that there's got to be a lot of kids impacted in terms of their ability to get back out and play sports with school closures and just struggling to make it to different things. So I feel like there's probably some opportunity to, take what she does good with Team Foundation and extend that to specific needs up in the mountains.
I couldn't agree more with you. I
Yeah.
think that's an excellent way to spend the money and think about that. It might take a little bit of research to finding out where you could put that money, but I think that would be a great use of that money because it's so important that kids feel that sense of camaraderie. They have that communication. They have that leadership. I wish you a whole lot of luck in finding that. And caller, I think that is a wonderful thing. I think you're blessed to have Andrea as a friend and support her through this because she's doing good stuff.
Oh, thanks, guys. And I love that idea. Yeah. I mean, any way that we can get the youth out there to not only participate in sports, but make a friend,
That's right.
Because I'm sure it's been very
I
hard.
think they probably are still scared to death.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, trauma imprints on the brain like a lump of clay, and that could be a long time to unravel that. But I think that what
Just even hiring a bus and a driver.
the caller's idea of is significant because I think we've seen people donate, clothes and warm clothes and blankets and tents and things like that. But I haven't heard of anybody doing something like this.
Yes,
So
I love
that's
that
a
idea.
really good idea.
I do. Yeah.
Excellent caller. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the conversation.
You bet. Happy New Year.
And to you.
Yay.
Oh, we have another caller. Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air with Joe Berg and Andrea Ervay, Debbie, and Marky.
Well, hello. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
My name's Shanna.
Hi, Shanna.
And hi, I'm actually good friends with Andrea as well. I just wanted to give you a quick call in and ideas. I love the idea of helping, those that are less fortunate that unfortunately had that natural disaster and getting that back up and running. But also, if continue the promotion of our local small businesses throughout the community. As a business owner as well, we have our own struggles, and I think just kind of getting our names out there, it's hard one way or the other. So, I think being able to possibly use that money just as a promotion, I know Andrea does a lot already within the community to get that up there. But more networking events, things to help each other, because I think at this point we all have our struggles, and if we're able to come together as a community, it would be great.
I think that's an excellent idea as well. And how was the holiday season for you with your business?
It was good. It was a little slow, but it was also, I was able to use that to kind of hone in on new relationships and do a little bit more on the networking side.
What is
I
your
was
business?
Real estate.
Okay.
I do residential real estate.
Holy
Which
moly.
is fourth quarter is a little slower for us, and with interest rates being higher, people have their opinions on buying now versus versus waiting. But for the most part, we were able to reach out, and I have a tendency of doing a little bit more touch points through the holidays with my clients and past clients. So it's a great way to kind of circle back and do the thank yous.
Fabulous. And I'm sure you make goals for the first,
Absolutely.
the first of the year. I can tell, and you've probably been trained by Andrea to do that.
She's
or
one,
use her
she's one of my
leadership.
vision board.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, we wish you best of luck this new year in the real estate market. I know things are a little crazy right now in real estate, kind of
Yeah.
slow,
Yes.
but hang in there. Change is coming.
It definitely is, and we're all looking forward to it. I can tell you that much.
Get on Facebook. I see all the time people saying, "Hey, does anybody have a realtor? Does anybody know that there's a lot of groups on Facebook
That's
that
right.
are always looking." So you got to be on top of that social media stuff.
Exactly.
But get out there and get it done. So thank you for calling in.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
y'all. Have a
Shanna.
great day.
Bye.
Mm.
Well, we've had the Andrea fan club. That's awesome.
Aw, I love that.
I think that's
I have
really
some good,
cool.
good friends.
That's
good
a
support.
that's a good way to feel good about the
Mm.
rest of your day today, for
Yes.
sure. Knowing that there are people out there that support you. I just think what you're doing is really fabulous for our community.
thank you.
And not only your leadership that you're bringing to small businesses, because that has got to be one tough thing to do is
Yeah.
be a small business owner.
Yes. It's,
And this economy has been kind of rough on some people. So keeping
But
up
I
with the
tell you,
trends.
I've lived in a lot of different places, and this community is just so supportive.
oh, yes.
Absolutely.
It's the best.
Unbelievable.
Mhm.
I think that's really cool that you've formed a network and a group for people.
Yeah.
Do we have another caller? I think this is a record
And
for
if
us here.
this is
on
another
Community
friend,
Centered.
I think it's fixed.
Go ahead, caller. You're on Community Centered. How can we help you?
Well, hey guys, this is Hope. I haven't talked to you in a while, but here's something that keeps popping into my head. Hello.
Hi, Hope.
That hi. I hope everything's going well for you. You sound great. Your show's coming right along. I think it's awesome. I've felt you guys grow.
Thank you,
Here's
Hope.
an idea. You're welcome. At least for winter, okay? So the Western Carolina thing is sad, tragic, and more of an acute situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But there's some people that are sort of in a chronic situation that is like they're living paycheck to paycheck or something, or maybe their husband just died or their wife just died, and now they've got this house that they're looking at. Maybe there's a way to hook up the people instead of them trying to get housed in the snow for the winter. Maybe if someone could rent a room, if there's a way to hook them up, I don't know how to do it, but we could hook people up to rent a room down where the weather's a little better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or even build a tiny home if they've got land that they're trying to save. And then that way they stay there until the disaster is back and they can go back home. And it helps someone out for a little bit. And then they're set and ready to go for starting to rent it out and have a little bit of other income for them. I'm not sure of all the stipulations that would go on, but it seems that that's a way, not just people who can help, but people who are getting help while they're helping.
I think that's
I
beautiful.
think it's a
Hope.
great
And
suggestion.
you're speaking my love language about housing
Yeah,
people that aren't
yeah.
housed. So that
Yeah,
is a
I mean,
wonderful
like,
idea.
yeah, I mean, I'll take a roommate for a little bit if it's going to help. Unfortunately, we'd have to clear some rooms out. So I'm like semi-hoarder, but we could maybe use some of the stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like even the hoarders. If you hooked everybody up with the hoarders, it'd be like, okay, you lost all this stuff. Come to that gal's house. She needs to get rid of some things. We can furnish you.
You just started a new business.
Yes, Hope, you
That's
are
a great idea.
You are contributing to our hoarder dilemma.
Help me start it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very techy. I'm more like an idea person that helps to find someone to trust to be partners with. But in the end, whether I get anything out of it, it needs to be said because it's something that can help mankind, and that's really the bigger deal. Love is the new money.
That's right.
Oh, beautifully said, Hope. Thank you so much for giving us hope and making it visible. We always say that at Hope House. Hope, what does that mean?
I know.
It's
Yeah.
a gift that's invisible but yet can be seen. And you are being seen by showing up and having wonderful suggestions. So thank you so much for that. You brought me some hope.
I appreciate you hearing me out, and if anyone needs help with my idea while they're doing it because they're in a better situation, I'll be happy to help.
I
I just don't know how to start.
Thank you for the energy and the effort. Appreciate it. Happy New Year.
Hey, everything you guys do as well. Take care. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hope.
Bye-bye. That's awesome.
Oh.
I see how you're bringing people together and
Yeah.
you're giving all kinds of ideas and encouraging folks. I love that.
A lot of ideas.
Yeah, I think that's.
I actually have a
people who-
question.
yeah.
Have you? I'm assuming you guys are familiar with like all the parks that are out in the Western Carolina area, like where they have fields, like huge complexes. Do you know of any of those that have been like destroyed by the hurricane that need help rebuilding the field? Because I think that would also be a good way. Because if people can't leave and they are where they are and they have no way to get out, I'm sure there's a few complexes that probably need some landscaping to be done to really fix what happened. Because you saw videos of landslides and things like that. So.
I mean, that's a great idea too.
Great idea.
I don't know off the top of my head, but there's so many counties that have been impacted. But you raise a good point. Like, where are they going to go? Where are they going to play these games? So yeah, absolutely.
This is interesting. I think maybe Margie can agree that we're always on the receiving end of asking for money, right? For our non-for-profits. So to be sitting here with someone who runs a nonprofit who has something to give away, how hard must this be to be able to figure out where the money goes?
That's right.
Right? So we always, wonder after we don't get a grant why we didn't get it, or when we do get a grant, we're like, yay, we got that grant. But to be sitting here listening to this conversation, to have you see, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but we wish you a lot of
Thank you.
good luck with that and hope. Great ideas, Joe Berg. Awesome. You knocked
Oh,
it out of
thanks.
the park.
Thank you for
That's
joining
That's
us.
a great thing.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
for
me.
joining us. Andrea, thank you for
Thank you.
being the lucky woman who has $10,000 to give away. I think that's an amazing way to start out your New Year's. And so we want to wish you luck, and we hopefully
Thank
will
you.
hear back from you soon. on what
Absolutely. I'll keep you
happens.
guys posted, and
Yeah,
any other
do.
ideas, please bring them my way.
Awesome. Awesome. And Margie, have a great week. We'll see you next
Thank you.
week.
You got it.
You bet. Thank you.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W264C